Time now for another In the Legal Know with Vincent J. Russo. And today, Vincent is here to talk about UTMA accounts and whether they're a good idea for your children who are still minors. So, Vincent, what's a UTMA account? Okay. Welcome. We haven't seen each other all summer.
That's right.
It's so great to see you.
Is this news? A UTMA account, the Uniform Transfer to Minors Act account, all right, which is the successor of the UGMA account, the Uniform Gift to Minors Act.
That's
right?
why I didn't know about it.
Okay, so this is an account that allows people to give a minor child money or stocks, and it's held in a custodial account. Typically, the parent would be the custodian of that account. And the funds in that account can be used for the minor while they're a child, a minor child. And when they reach age of majority, as a general rule, then they have access to the account.
Okay. So how does the account work?
Okay. So the custodian receives the assets, the gifts, opens up, let's say, a bank account under the Uniform Gift to Minors Act. And now that parent, as a custodian, acts as a fiduciary. They can use the money for whatever the child needs are, but it has to be for their benefit, their sole benefit. It's the child's money being held by someone else. And as I said, when they reach age of majority, as a general rule, the parents can't say, well, hold off, I'm not going to transfer the money over to you or give it to you. They have a right to it.
Okay. And right. So the child can withdraw as of how old? What age?
Okay, so now we get to ages, and this is a whole complicated topic depending on state law.
Okay.
So age of majority in many states is either age 18 or 21. So that would be the trigger date for when the child would have access to the account. Now, under UTMA, the states can elect what are called termination dates. So for example, in New York, it's age 21, age of majority. But you can elect to give it sooner to the child at age 18. In Florida, it's 21, but you can elect to hold it up to 25. But if you elect to hold it up to 25, when the child reaches 21, they still can take it out even though the account stays till 25. In Virginia, for example, you could pick the age, 18, 21, 25, you can pick the age. So it's really important that depending on where you live and where that account is open, right, that you understand that rule, because that's really important to understand the consequences of an UTMA account. The child's going to have total access, uncontrolled access, when they are allowed to take the money out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely know what's going on in your state. And so, what are the benefits of this type of account?
All right. So let's look at some of the benefits here. Flexibility. The custodian has a lot of flexibility on how to spend the money. They could spend it on medical expenses, for example, or a vacation for the child. It's simplicity is a benefit, that it's easy to open these accounts. There are no restrictions on how much can be gifted in, but it's a gift. And so we have to understand the gift tax laws there. If it's over $18,000, then it's a taxable gift. And there are some tax benefits. If the income earned on that UTMA account are $2,600 or less, basically half of that is not taxed and the other half may be taxed at 10%, which is a very low rate.
I can see that flexibility being really attractive to many people out there.
That's right.
So what about the negatives?
Okay, so the negatives, let's look at that list here. It's an irrevocable gift. Once you put it in the account, the parent or whoever makes that gift cannot say later, I want the money back. Or the child's not, the child has issues and I don't want him to have it. Can't do that. So there's limited control. When the child reaches age of majority, they have a right to it. The parent cannot hold back those funds. If the account grows to be more significant and earns more significant income, then some of that income could be taxed at the parent's rate under what's called the kiddie tax rule. All right? So you got to be careful about that aspect of it. And then it could adversely impact financial aid.
Oh.
The UTMA account is treated as the child's money. And so that has more of an adverse impact than if it was held, for example, in a 529 college savings plan.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So let's talk about some of the alternatives to this account.
Okay, so let's look at those alternatives. And the first is a 529 college savings plan, because in a 529 college savings plan, the funds can grow tax-free, where in an UTMA account they're subject to tax. All right, and you get some edge there on financial aid when you apply. Roth IRAs, if the child is working as a teenager, for example, rather than put it in an UTMA account, maybe they want to put it in a Roth IRA, save for retirement, which is a good thing. It kind of locks the money in, subject to penalties if you withdraw before a certain age. So that could be an alternative. And then last, setting up a trust. And so parents will look at this and say, UTMA account doesn't cost me any money to set it up. If I want to set up a trust, it costs me money. But then what are the benefits? Well, you can control how those assets are spent. You can write into the trust agreement how those funds can be used, which is important. And also you can control when they're available to the child.
Okay.
All right,
yeah.
so that could, and so for example, one never knows. What happens if the child becomes disabled and you have an UTMA account? Now we got to do some further planning. It gets more complicated, where if the funds were in a trust, we could have built certain protections in there for the child.
So bottom line.
So bottom line, UTMA accounts are good. If they're relatively small amounts of money, it's easy and simple. But if it's part of a bigger plan and there are more significant assets involved, then I would say go to the trust format and protect the assets that way.
Okay, that's great. I just have to say, I haven't seen you all summer, really. And your dad, his 99th birthday, Catholic Charities was there. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, he's incredible, and he loves volunteering at the food pantry at St. Mary's of the Isle. Every day it gives him purpose.
And you said he's there right now, right?
Yeah, he's there now.
So, a wonderful, wonderful.
He got in the car.
I couldn't wait to see you.
He got in the car this morning, drove away, and then I drove to come here.
Again. And he's 99. He's amazing, amazing,
He's in his
amazing.
100th year of life.
He is in his 100th year, and he's setting an example for all of us. Great seeing you, Vincent. We'll see you next month.
That's right.